So a huge element of this, and I'm just going to rapid fire give them to you guys so you can workshop this on your own. Okay. So the life arenas that you look at, okay, because everyone's going to be different. You're going to have your health. Okay. I'm just going to rapid fire them. Health. You have your lover if you don't have an intimate partner. So it's self. I'm single. So it's my relationship with myself. Okay. So a lot of this, I love you because I got to love me more than anyone loves me because I can't go seek love externally. I got to be the love. So I also have a lot to give. Okay. Family and friends, you can separate that. So you have the life areas. Okay. So your health, lover or self, your family, you can separate it, your friends, mission. Okay. Your finances, your hobbies, and your spirit. Okay. So you look at that, not because you have to go shift everything in your life. I would go look at those areas and after score them 1 to 10. You can quickly give a score. Where are you at in your health? Health 10 is I feel so alive, energetic, vibrant. I crush it every single day. I feel amazing. I don't even need the stimulants. I'm like, whoop, fired up. Okay. 3, you're like, dude, brain fog, groggy, can't wait for the coffee, grinding through the day. Okay. Just put a number 1 out of 10. Okay. Lover. Your love, your relationship with yourself. Are you usually beating yourself up? Okay. If you're single, are you beating yourself up? Are you saying bad thoughts to yourself? Are you more empowering, loving, endearing? 10 to me, I'm like, dude, you got love, grace, excitement, channel, all of that. Okay. Your family, what's your relationship with your family? 1 out of 10. Your peers, do you have people that uplift you, empower you, like this group, like this amazing, incredible group? And if you somehow not enter Ascender's tribe, it's free. Literally just go type nbcsalessystem.com, go look up at school, go find me on IG. It's like literally in the link. Very hard not to find. Okay. nbcsales.io. Sorry. Anyways, mission 1 to 10. How connected are you with the mission, the work? Are you bringing the joy, the alignment, excitement? Okay, your finances. We got to talk about your finances. Are you saving money? Are you investing? Are you living paycheck to paycheck? Are you carrying massive debt? There's no judgment in it. You just have to have the awareness. Because what did we talk about in the beginning? You can't change something if you have no awareness. Okay. Your hobbies. Okay. I could tell you hobbies, I'm non-existent. That's okay. Okay. I'm just like, I'm aware of it. It's not a priority for me. Okay. My hobbies would be like language learn. That would be the closest thing. Okay. Then you have your spirit. Okay. Spirit. I'm not promoting religion, but I pray that you find some spiritual connection. Okay. Because if you felt something, well, guess what? That is a spirit. Okay. Some call it the Holy Spirit. Some call it you think it's you, but I'm like, that is a greater thing than you. That's how you're able to feel so much. Those scenes, that's part of your reality. That is part of the interconnectedness of the universe and God. Okay. So just look at that. Okay. Because now when you go and architect your stuff, when you go create your goals, this stretch, when we look at this stage, we're not trying to improve every single thing in your life. Okay. Because that's just not going to happen. You're always going to be in imbalance. You're always going to have disproportional. Because guess what happens? If you start to go hard on your mission and finances and your health, what do you think is going to suffer? Probably your relationships, probably your hobbies, could be your spirit connection, right? If you got people that go so hard on health, they fail in business. You got people that go so hard in business that their health suffers. Do you understand? So there's always going to be an imbalance. Balance doesn't mean 50-50. Okay. Balance is in perpetuity to what's important to you at this stage. Okay. For me, it's God, my mission, my top 2. Okay. Health, I would tell for every single person, health should always be your number 1 priority. Because when you improve your health, everything else multiplies. Your mindset multiplies, your vision multiplies, your connection multiplies, your willingness multiplies. Every single thing that you do in your life multiplies when you take your health to the next level. And whatever you think is possible for you, there are leaps and bounds of things that you do not know. And I'm just going to side note on this one out of all the things, because I think it's so grotesquely overlooked because we just operate in this is who I am. This is just how I am. When I tell you one of my biggest breakthroughs so early in my journey was understanding this one statement. Okay. I remember Brendan said it to me. It just like hit me direct in the soul. And it was one of the things that had such a profound change in my life. He said, you can't miss what you haven't experienced. I'm just going to process that. You can't miss what you haven't experienced. Okay. Right now, I'm concussed. Okay. I'm record worst sleeps probably in my life that I'm aware of. Okay. I'm like HRV tank, like all my metrics are off. Dizzy, woozy, da, da, da. So I can miss because I know what like peak vibrance is, even though I'm still revving high to someone's standard, like, wow, this is amazing, man. I'd ask if I feel like that without the caffeine and all that. I want that. I'm like, dude, there's like levels to this shit. But I can't miss that because what happened to me early in my journey, I was whatever I thought was my baseline and my ceiling, that's all I knew. And then when you start to look and you start to pivot, you're just, whoa, there's so many levels, right? I like I don't eat sugar. I don't eat anything deep fried. I can tell you, the last couple of years, never ate a French fry, never ate a onion ring, whatever. Like, right? Again, those are simple things. But because I knew when I stopped sugar, I stopped deep fry, I stopped eating processed shit, I feel 100 times better. When you get your sleep consistent, you'll feel infinitely better. When you're hydrated, infinitely better. When you supplement omegas, creatine, multivitamins, all the core staff, you will feel infinitely better. Then you want to go more advanced, go do blood work. Okay. You want to go even more advanced, go do your microbiome, gut work. Okay. When you go and do all of those, like to give you guys context, I'll just say one thing. Okay. Everyone talks about TRT for the guys. Sorry, ladies. I don't know much on the lady side. I only coach on the male side of this when we go into the biohacking world, just for the hormone side. To give you context, okay, my testosterone. So you guys have quantitative metrics, and I'll just give you numbers. Okay. Few months back was this is just total testosterone, so you understand, was 540. So sometimes if you do your test, you'll see like 54, and you're like, wait, it's just different units, just multiply by 10 or 100, 5, whatever. Okay. I believe it was 540 or 510. I forget. Okay. Right now, naturally, never touched. I've never touched a needle, never done steroids, I never will. I'm not even peptides, anything. I don't have anything against them. I'm just telling you that she's natural. I said, I'm going to commit to improve this because I feel fucking amazing, but I want to go to the next level. I committed to that. Okay. My test right now, to quote me from my doctor, he's like, and ask people take TRT just to get to your level. Okay. So from 5, so to go 5-ish, I'm close to, I almost forgot. I just didn't want to say it's either 810 or 840. I forget the number. It's one of the two. Just to give you context. The point of that is, I was like, I felt amazing at this level. Okay. That's gonna be an upsell, Ed. Yeah, it's gonna be an upsell. I built the whole blueprint because I was like, I want to do it naturally. Okay, did it. Boom. And I'm like, guess what? Fuck, I didn't even know I could feel this good. Right? Like, there's so many levels. So whatever you're doing and feeling experience, just always challenge it. And it's not as hard as you think. Like, I'm like, if all you did was fix your sleep, I'm like, you like 5x your energy. Fix your sleep means you sleep the exact same effing time. When you wake up at the same time, 7 days a week. It doesn't change. Okay. Boring as shit. It sucks. I know, but you build your schedule around it because we're going to go into schedule building in just a moment here. Okay. But I really had to hammer that because the actionables that I want you guys to have is I want you to create a practice. Okay. And I'm going to recommend you in strong peak energetic state. Whether you do push up, listen to some music, get some vibrancy inside of you, get energetic, then tap into your goals and tap into your future life, future you, who you want to grow into. And you're not going to have the exact answers right now. But when I give you guys, everyone that opted in, I'm going to email you the Ascender manifesto that I have, customize it to you. I made it that you can fill in the things, right? So you can put your date, your financial goal, then you can add all the values and the things that you're trying to grow into, and you're trying to build the practices so you become that person. So over time, and this doesn't take years, this takes like weeks of intense frequency. So we get frequent, okay? Y'all with me? I'm just showing you how FIG applies in all of this, okay? We spend less than 2 minutes thinking about our idealized future. We consume a bunch of shit because anytime we have free time, we get bored and we consume shit. Yes? Y'all with me? Like, you have a free moment, I'm going to consume something. I'm going to learn something. Like, we're always consume. Like, your brain's just like constantly just like, I call it mental masturbation. You're just like over and over and over. You just consume. It never ends. But we're like, hey, what I created here was like, hey, let's take some space. Let me recreate some of this. And if you weren't able to create the images, you do not have spent enough time, and it's very quick to get it back. Okay. Because you used to dream as a kid. You probably lost touch of it. So you can't see the images. Y'all with me? So the more you do it, I promise you, better images, better fruition, better this, and it'll become way more familiar. Okay. And it'll become easy for you to tap into. And then when you write it out, you'll articulate it. Okay, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. This is what I'm trying to grow into. Okay. And you look at your life areas, your health, lover, friends, family, mission, finances, hobby, spirit, find out which ones are low and which ones to you are important at the stage that you want to level up. And you build your plan to that. So you have the aspiration of, I want to get healthy. I want to have more love. I want to have sense of mission. Okay, great. What are the things that you're going to build into that to start getting? And the simple things is, like I'll show you an example and maybe we'll share, but you always, from the business and sales side, you always want to come back to numbers and metrics. Okay. You want to have simple things that you go and study. Okay. So for example, I'll just show you guys a simplified tracker to process. And I got to give a huge shout out to Armin Shafi for the incredible work on this. But let's just say the goal. So if we were talking about 100K, you guys see a tracker here? Okay. If you're like, hey, whatever, 10K. Okay. And then whatever you sell, let's just say it's 5 grand. Okay. And then you go, okay, my close rate is this. Okay. My short rate is that, blah, 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 blah. And you put your targets and you do all of that. You'll understand, hey, for me to go hit these numbers, okay, you will just have to hit certain metrics, right? You'll go look at your KPIs and you're like, okay, I want to hit this yearly goal, da, 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 da. And you'll start to get metrics of, things that you need to hit and go and work towards. Okay. And all it comes down to is it's a numbers game. How many calls do I need to take at this metric, at this frequency? If I just go back here, okay, it's very simple. Okay. Whatever your offer price is, you go look at what's your current closer, what's your show rate, okay, what's your combo, that could be your set, your DMs, da 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 da. And then all you're figuring out is how many I need in a month, how many I need in a week. Okay. Well, this would calculate it for you. Okay. And the point is, part of the financial side, okay, people like mock the idea of sales as a number games. I'm like, no, there is very clear math in sales. All you're trying to do is not be average and just play the same numbers. That's the trap, right? So you're like, this is my baseline. Great. Okay. Sometimes we talk to clients, they're making money. I'm like, dude, your show rate's 50%. We don't even need to do your closing. We need to fix your show rate. If we got 10%, you like 20%, you could double the business. Do you get what I mean? Okay. One of our clients right now, I can't even remember. The show rate was like in the 60s, where they're now past the 85 percentile. Do you know what that does for a business? Okay. It wasn't even about fixing the closing. We're just going to get more people to show. That means you're going to make more offers and you can make more sales. Guess what? Sales starts to skyrocket, right? And it's just like knowing your numbers. And the goal is you take the baseline and you obsess about making it better. And you always chase what's the closest to the money. So if you have the money target, you go, what's the closest thing you can control it? Okay. Whether you're in business sales, whatever. Okay. It's always going to be, okay, the how many offers do we make? Okay, are we making enough offers? Okay, how many sales lives are we taking? Then you go from lives, then you're going to go into more show rate, more profit. Yeah, amen. Thank you, James. I keep the ignorance on my side, right? You always go show rate, book call, right? It's the same as when you run ads. It's ROAS. What's the closest next thing? Cost per book call, right? That you just look at the leading indicators. It doesn't matter the dials and this. All that matters is the metrics that you control that you want to improve. How many sets do you get? How many people show up? How many do you offer? How many do you close? And you're just trying to optimize those based on what is going to be the most critical for the business. Sometimes you just don't have enough leads. Sometimes you just don't have enough shows. Sometimes you have just really low closing rates. But if you just start to optimize those metrics, you start to hit the finances. Okay. Y'all with me so far? Does not. I said, and the reason why I said I might say something, and you're like, I've heard this before. I'm like, great. Are you doing it? It's very different. Are you doing it? Do you know your numbers? Okay. And the reason I bring this up is we have clients, we'll call before we give them things to track. It's like, hey, so tell us this. They're like, yeah, I think I'm at, if the answer is, I think I'm like, you're very disconnected from reality. Did y'all understand? I should be like, dude, what's your short? Here's my short rate to the month. Here's my closer. Here's my set rate. Here's this. Here's that. Here's how many deals I lost. Here's the money. Like, you should know it like this. If you don't know your numbers, then what are you working towards? That's the whole point, right? We're just reacting to life. We're losing the intention. And that's why we don't show up. And then whatever your numbers are, you always have to constantly challenge them over and over and over and over and over. It never ends. You have to constantly challenge. That's the game. How to make it better, how to make it better, how to make it better. Okay. Is it a process, is it a system? Is it a this, is that? And you do that. Okay. Y'all with me so far? Yes. Okay. And you got to define what your metrics are. And then you have to go and improve them. If you ever want help improving it, just DM me the word ascend and we'll see how you serve you. Please always understand we have negative incentive to sell anyone that we can't help because we offer our money back. So it's against anything that we do. So if you want help with that, amazing, DM ascend. Okay. So now the key is as you build these things, I'm going to just rapid fire these so I can show you guys how you plan and structure the day. And I promise you'll give you some huge clicks on that. I prepped a little calendar. I'm going to show you how you do it on Google Calendar. I use Notion Calendar personally, but I just did it on Google because I know it's pretty universal. Most people get. Okay. So the things you have to build 3 things: a daily workflow, a weekly workflow, and a monthly workflow. Okay. So when you do a daily workflow, okay, the terms we use is a DCA, discipline, committed, action. Okay. So when you look at your daily workflow, it's because we have different people in the audience here. So you could be a salesperson, you could be like the business, you could be a setter, you could be into it. So your daily workflow is you have to go, okay, these are my daily inputs that over time, if I do these, they will help me actualize this thing that I'm trying to get to. Do you follow? Okay, so a priority for us right now, fully on content. And I was like, hey, if we're gonna get to 10 million people, we're gonna change these lives, it has to be on content. I hate short form because I just, me personally, I have views. I'm like, oh, it's kind of dumb. Like, I don't like to condense the value. Like, can you imagine? I tried to take this master class and just be like, I'm just gonna condense it into a 60-second reel. Like, do you get what I mean? So I have these like, I have this beef with short form, but I'm like, okay, Nash, we gotta like rework the thinking. And I'm like, I'm gonna obsess about content. So part of my outputs is just so you guys know, I'm creating now, right now, I'm doing like like we're getting to like the way we're projecting right now. We're now basically just without going too deep into the numbers, we're maybe 8x the amount of content we create now in a week than we used to do in months. Right. And we're just upping that number. We're just upping that number. Right. I'm just like more payroll, more reps, more opportunity. And we're just like over and over and over, like just to like an ungodly level because I'm just like, we just want to get so I just want to get so great because I'm not that great at the short form side. So I was like, I'm like, what is it? Frequency, intensity, greatness. I got to get frequent, then I get intense, then I get great. Do you know what I wasn't that frequent with it. So now I'm like, okay, we're frequent. I'm like, let's get intense. Let's add the intensity. I'm just upping the intensity. And then that eventually will get me great. And you go, oh my God, he blew up. Did you guys follow? You're on track? I'm like, yeah, yes, that shit. Okay. Um, so daily workflow, weekly workflow, monthly workflow. So I'll give you some examples and I'll just rapid fire them. Okay. And don't worry, you can come back to this in the recording so you have it. So one of the things you have to do every single day, you have to review the day and the next day. You cannot end a single day. So part of your daily workflow is review schedule for the day. You can't go a day without checking tomorrow. You should end today. So part of you, we're weekly because it's Sunday. You should review the whole week. What are the calls on the calendar? Okay, who do I need to follow up with? I got these 4 people to follow up with. I should put them on my calendar to make a reminder for me to go follow up with them, right? What are the pending deals? Who no-showed? Who ghosted? Like you cannot go through a day without checking tomorrow. Because if you do not check for and plan for tomorrow, guess what happens? You wake up in a reaction, which defeats the whole purpose of everything that we're talking about today. You have to start with intention, end with intention. Y'all tracking? Okay, I get these are the things that I said. This might not, this specific part. Who here had some breakthroughs so far today? Some big clicks, some big unlocks, some big ahas. Okay, amazing. Everyone but Francesco and Tyler. That's good. We'll take those. Good odds. Good odds. Okay. So you have to go and you're like, okay, cool. What are these things? Okay. Then you have to think, some of you have to create content. I'm a great. So part of your workflow has to be content. Okay. Some of you have to do some deep work to do some things for the business. Great. You have to create some deep work, and I'm sure how you plot that in. But you have to go look at your daily workflow. Some of you have to respond to clients. Great. Part of your daily workflow, respond to clients, review schedule for the day, prep content. Okay. Create this piece of thing. You know, do freaking, 10 outbounds, 10 follow-ups, 3 set. Like you have to have some daily inputs that you control. Okay. And the simplest way I look at daily outcomes and inputs, okay, part of your DCA, I love this or that. It's the simplest life principle never had. Okay. So this or that is, let's say you're doing sets. Okay. You're like, hey, I'm going to do, I don't care. When people are like, I did 100 dials. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit that you did 100 dials. 100 dials is just a leading indicator. Okay. Because I could do 20 dials and get the same output as someone who do in 100 dials or 200. Do you get what I mean? So I'm like, it's not about the dials. It's about the outcome, the result. So when I say this or that, I go and I'm like, hey, I'm either going to get 5 sets or 50 contacts. Do you understand? 50 contacts, 50 humans that picked up. I don't care which one hits. I mean, I do care about the set. But if I cranked the whole day and I could not get the 50 dials, if I at least did my 50 contacts, I'm like, okay, I threw down today because that was a stretch. I didn't do that, so I'm going to work on it. And it's this or that. So my goal is always like this or that, this or that, this or that, this or that. We always this or that. Okay. And then when you get comfortable with that, raise the standard. Then you raise the standard and you raise the standard. But you have to commit to this or that. You're like, I'm going to do this no matter what. Come hell or high water, I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to do this. But when I say these are non-negotiables, when you go read your manifesto, like you will hear things that I follow through on. I say, I do what I promise. I do the hard. Because when you make these commitments, you have to teach yourself that you're like, I follow through on this shit. Okay. So you guys know, my team, I have $1,000 penalty if I don't create a piece of content. I have commitments to them. I was like, hey, I'm going to create these. If I don't, I'm going to bonus $1,000 as a penalty. Because you know what? It's very easy as a CEO to be like, well, I had this thing and it, like, I'm like, nope, motherfucker, like, this is the commitment. Make it happen. You track? Because I was like, I need the accountability. Like, I was like, I need that extra thing because this thing's important to me. right? And I'm like, I'd rather not pay that penalty. So let's work some magic. Y'all with me? Yes. So we gotta look at that. I'm like, okay, cool. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, my daily workflow is just a series of discipline committed actions. Okay, and your weekly is you have to have some part of your process today. Review the week. Okay, and I'll show you how you can review your week and how you build it. Because if we don't review the week, what do we miss? We miss awareness. If we have no awareness, we can't change anything. Why do people in health and fitness promote tracking your macros? Okay, because if you don't track your macros, okay, you don't make the change. Guys, is this too boring? Am I losing you? Am I losing? I'm gonna jump into the calendar here, and I'm gonna show you. Okay, I'm just getting some of the. I'm looking at the screen. I'm getting the death stares. Ray's like, he's like, hey, okay. King Keto, best freaking line. I love that. Yes, if you ain't tracking, you're slacking. I love that. If you guys don't know, Brandon Carter, love his work. Right? If you ain't tracking, you're slacking. Because if you don't, you have no awareness. You can't change shit. It's so hard to change. Okay, so it's like, okay, what are some of my weekly workflows? Okay, sometimes your weekly workflows, it could be part of this week, I have to create new ads. Okay, so it's like, it might not happen on Monday, but this week cannot end without me creating new ads. Okay, I do not want to, by any stretch of imagination, right? It's almost midnight. Do you know what I have to do? I have a couple, I have coaching call, sales call today, and I have to still create a YouTube. Do you follow? I still have to do a YouTube, and it's midnight. Do you get me? But I'm like, hey, discipline committed action. Discipline committed action. Do you get the point? Okay, because the discipline comes from the motive. What is my motive? Motivation. Change 10 million lives. Reach them. How do I reach them? Content. Okay, so it's not about what I want. I want this thing. So my motivation is to go reach 10 million people, change their lives, because we want to spread our message. Okay, so great. So that is going to generate the discipline, and then I add the accountability and the consequence to make sure that shit is ingrained. Is that clicking for y'all? Okay, so I'm like, cool. So I'm going to follow through on it, but I have to teach myself. I can't do like, oh, like, let me give me some grace. Okay, so the weekly workflow, you have to come up with the things of like, hey, this week cannot end without me finishing these things. That's what the weekly workflow is. These are the things that have to happen this week. Okay, then the monthly, similar concept, non-negotiables that you that you have to make. So I'm gonna briefly share calendar, oversimplified, so you can understand a very easy workflow and process of how to look at managing and processing your day. You guys cool? Any burning questions? Maybe before I share the calendar, start kind of explaining how you plan the days. No burning questions. Okay, cool. All right, I'm a share the calendar arena. Okay, and just keep in mind, everyone's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to just show you all the little hacks of what you need to do. Ignore what's on. Just. I know your mind's going to want to read and all that fun stuff, but I just want you to just watch for a second. Okay, so on Google, there's this amazing feature that when you create something, you can when you right click, you can create these labels. Okay, so when you do the labels, okay, you create labels that are relevant to you. Okay, so generally we like sales setting. You want to do something serving, so it's like fulfillment. Okay, if you have to create content, you do content. Then something personal training. Again, you can customize this. There's a reason why I'm showing you this. Y'all with me so far? Labels. Create labels. Give them meaning. Because on the side of Google, you get time insights on the week. Very simplistic. Okay. Okay. So when you mark the activities, you can see, so you're no longer delusional, because if you ain't tracking, you're slacking. Okay. So you can go look at it and you're like, oh shit. Okay. So this week I spent 8 hours on sales, because here's the catch. You have to update this as you go out throughout the day. Okay. And what you want to do, and I'm going to give you different ways of how you structure the days in the week. Okay. And I'm going to speak to both salespeople and business owners. And if I miss something, ask a question. Okay. So let's say you're a business owner. Okay. I'll start with business owner because That one's a little bit more complex, so it'll be easier to explain the rest. There are certain activities that you have to do at different times, but you don't have to do them every single day. Okay. For example, you have to create some sort of content, whether it's modules, ads, or if you're in sales and you help the business owner, you probably want to help them with ads and content and research and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I'm very big on create sacred pockets of times to do these things that align with the goal that you're trying to do at the stage. So how you look at the goals is you're like, here's what I want to do with this 90 days. And then I want you to get obsessed about the month and the week. Okay. Because it's so hard to go think 90 days. It's hard to pace out. A month is still hard, but if you can, I want your obsession initially to be like, I'm going to win a week, but it starts with you winning a day. Okay. So I'm going to show you, idealize what I mean on the business side. Okay. So you might go, okay. So for me, for instance, on Mondays, like Mondays are hammered. Leadership calls, inner circle, like that. It's all very, very, very call intensive. Okay. Do you follow? So what you want to look at is if you can batch as many of the same contexts together, that's a huge win. Okay. And if you're the business owner, you ideally want to structure it in a way that makes sense for you. What I don't want you to do is to task switch so much. I don't want you to do a sales call, then do a follow-up. Then you have to go jump and do this like report email sequence thingy. Then you're going to go create, there's so much task switching. It's so inefficient and there's so much bleed time. Do you understand? Okay. Even though it's Sunday, I have calls, but like I'm back to back. Okay. I obviously push the start time while we're here, but I have back to backs after this. But guess what? All of them involve me being on camera. Do you get the point? Because do you know how hard it would be if there was a gap, just as an example, and then there was other stuff, and then it had to come back on camera? It's a very different energy. Like right now I'm in coach and ask. It's a very different energy than if I has to go like sit and do some stuff. So the point of it is, what you look at is you want to create the pockets in advance. So what I call them is DCAs. And what I do is I put the hour time behind it. So then I know in advance when I look at this, I'm like, oh, okay, for this day, I got 5 hours of DCAs. Do you follow? So it helps me process, okay, I have 5 hours of these things that I could do that's going to help me move my business, whatever, me at the stage. Okay. And then in my week and my daily planning, okay, whoever's annotating, please remove that. Okay. So whatever happens is, let's say, let's just pretend what to show. Okay, let's say this is Sunday. Just pretend that this is your next day. So you're like, okay, I got these 3 sales calls booked. But now you have to go look at this and you're like, I got a DCA. Whoops. This should say this 1.5H. Okay. And I'll just explain this. So now imagine you're planning for this day. Y'all with me? You're like, I got a 1.5 hour block that I could do a DCA. So when you're clear about what you're trying to accomplish for the week, you're like, what is the discipline committed action that I need to do? And the thing I want you to get in the habit of prioritizing is do the, okay, Brian Tracy, great simple book. If you want to read, it's a very short read. Eat the Frog, incredible book. Okay. It basically says, do the fucking nastiest, most disgusting, horrible thing as quickly as possible. Okay. Everyone's going to have a different, I'm like, just don't drag it and leave it to the end. Who here has tried to work out at the very end of a day? How much does that shit suck? I don't know. Some of you are psychopaths. You like it, right? You're like, I promise I'm going to do it. And then at the end, you're just like, all the excuses, reasons, all the kind of stuff comes up. Okay. So I'm like, do the shit early on and plug it in advance. Now, the other things is, because you're not always going to have your calendar full. You have to have a fuck ton. Please hear me. You have to have a fuck ton of time that you are prospecting and generating new business. I don't know why in the high ticket space, there's this like allure that like things are like if your calendar is not full, your job is to drive revenue. Whether you're the CEO, whether you're the salesperson, your job is to drive revenue. So you have to have a like infinitely way more time prospecting than you do. Okay. And you have to get very clear about when is, okay, your RGT, when are your revenue generating times? And anything that does not directly and immediately generally drive revenue right away, I would do it outside of the key times. Now, there's a big caveat on all of this. How you structure the days is in context to your energy levels. Everyone by nature has natural energies, rise and flows. Okay. Everyone has an afternoon dip that's not unique to you. Everyone has it based on your chronotype, your sleep habits, all of that. Okay. And generally, the energy dip, I'm just generalizing for across the different biological species, is going to be between 1 to 3 p.m. Okay, so you have to go and you have to understand your energy. Who here is very sharp in the mornings? Hands up. Okay, some of you are sharp in the morning. Great. Okay, and it's like slow all day, brother. Okay, just joking. I'll miss you, man. Okay, so some of you are like, man, my brain switches on at night. You're not a morning or a night person. You are choosing to condition yourself to be that type of person. It's never that someone's like, I'm a morning person. I'm like, no, you just have shit sleep habits that don't make you a morning person, right? Or someone's like, I'm a night owl. I'm like, oh, you mean you stay up late, stare at screens, and you sleep in, so you turn on at night. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, there are the biological. There's very small population in the world. We're talking like very population, like there are insomniacs that have it absolutely horrible. Yes, those are different. But yes, okay, if you ever go to Sleep Quiz, Dr. Michael Burris, The Power of Now. If you guys go to The Power of Now, if you want to go figure out your chronotype, blah, 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 go look that up. Go do a test. I'll tell you. So you'll know if you're a little bit more morning, evening person. Okay. But point is, you have to know your energy dips and you have to know your energy rhythm. Okay. And you want to cheat the game. And in your low energy time, put the things that need low energy that have low leverage. And in your high energy time, you want to do the important thing that has massive leverage. So let's say you're like, hey, Anas, at 10 a.m., I'm usually feeling peak. Okay. You should not be crafting a follow-up message because that does not need a lot of energy. Imagine your DM setting and you do DMs and you message people. When should you do DM setting? The answer should be when you're at the absolute lowest energy. Do you get me? When you're the absolute lowest energy, because it takes no energy. Do you get what I mean? So you want to structure the days. Okay, let's say you have to create content. When should you create content? When you're fucking peak energy. Okay, if you're gonna prep scripts, when you should do it? Probably before the day and life comes to you. So I'm like, I would do it at the very beginning of the day. Do you know when's a bad time to script? After you've done the whole day. Do you understand? Right? Like it's very tough. You're just like, some of you, your brain maybe switches on. Then great, like to do it at the end. But you have to play the game. And then the few things is, as your day progresses, let's say, let's just pretend we're here. Okay. Let's say I didn't end up doing this. I have to go change the context of this. Okay. And one of these should be, okay, you could put TK. Okay. TK means time killed. Okay. Or you could put wasted, change the color. Okay. And then what you do is you're going to go and be like, this is wasted, but I definitely would not do like a green color. So then you start to see how much time am I wasting? And wasting is anything distraction, unrelated, out of agenda, reactive, that has nothing to do with anything. Example, I don't know, Tyler calls me, okay? And Tyler calls me randomly, and I just answer the call, even though it's supposed to be prospecting. But Tyler's a homie or a whatever, okay? And I do that, and then I answer, and I'm just talking to them, right? My friends, my close friends, they know if they're gonna call me during work hours, I'm like, hey, bro, love you. Is it urgent? No. Hey, man, I'll talk to you after. And I'll talk to them off work hours because they are costing me money and impact if I'm talking to them during those times. So it's not because I'm short. I'm just like, hey, I respect my mission and my time and my value and what I'm doing. And if I give it sparingly, reactively to every person that comes into my life, I'll never do shit because everyone wants my time. Do you all understand? Okay. If clients have things, I'm like, unless a client has an immediate 911, all of our clients at any stage of our program, they know you can huddle me, you can call because they get direct access to me on site. You can call. But if you call and it's outside of time to schedule, it better be a fucking emergency. But you always get our support. Do you understand? Because you can't go an off kilter to schedule. Because if you did that, you can't have that. Now the problem that happens, imagine you're setting and closing. Okay. People task switch so much. They like do a little bit of like the CRM and then they're like stop and then they're like researching some stuff and then they'll do some follow-up and then they go do this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit. And then all that happens is you have all these open loops and that drains you energetically. And then you're like, I'm busy. And then the problem is you can't see a bigger goal or a vision because you're literally like, Anas, you don't understand. I can't fucking do more because I can't, because what your capacity, what you are seeing is that you are stretched on a time bandwidth, not a efficiency output bandwidth. I'm going to repeat that. You feel capped because you have an artificial time bandwidth. Because you're like, Anas, I'm working 12 hours a day. But working 12 hours and working 12 hours are not the same thing. Y'all tracking? Okay, because if your schedule looks like this, okay, watch. Imagine this. Okay, let's take this and just go like that. Okay, look at day one. Who here thinks day one, this day right here, who here thinks this day would have been productive? Okay, Victor is the one. Okay, think about it. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys an answer. This day would have been horrendous. This is a horrible day. Okay, let me explain to you. Okay, this is personal aliveness, just this working out. So I like to put emoticons and things to remind me I'm doing this so I can feel alive. Okay, so let's say this is a workout. Okay, random DCA. So this was actually unplanned. Then I took a sales call. Then here, according to this, I did some training. So I did a sales call and then I did some training. And then I did some serving. So I did some client fulfillment. Then I did a reset. Then I did some outbound. Then I took a sales call. Then I did some, why are these two different? The point, this one's not as horrible, but the first half makes no sense. There's so much context switching. So all you did was half-ass the whole thing. Do you understand? And the thing is, where you get your maximum bang is when you teach yourself that, let's say you don't have sales call, okay? And people just try to get cute because they just want to avoid the thing and they're looking for some magical thing. This should be mother effing prospecting. Like literally that. But people don't want that because they're like, it's not sexy. And I'm like, well, if your calendar is not full, then it should probably look a little bit like that. Do you understand what I mean? And if we're real, it should be like this. Okay. And what it actually could be is this could be, just switch that. This could be as an example, like that. And then this could be, let's just say film ads, content or training. But that is what the day should realistically look like. Okay, don't hang up, don't get hung up on like the time. I made this Eastern, I'm just trying to make it fit. But you get the point. But then people think you're supposed to get like cute and I'm like, no. If you're not making the money that you're doing, you're probably not speaking to enough people. You're not closing enough people because you're not prospecting enough and you don't have enough traffic. That's the reality. But people like try to get cute about it. Okay. And then here's the big, I like this is literally $1 million breakthrough. Okay. And this, I'm just going to tell you that the 2 or 3 of the biggest roadblocks that happen. Time bandwidth in your mind, you're like, Anas, I'm already putting in all the hours. What I'm trying to show you is there's putting in the work and then putting in the work. There's being efficient or being inefficient. If you keep context switching and your calendar looks this colorful, that's why you switch color. This looks like a shit day, unless it's meant to be a shit day, because on Mondays you just stack it with all the random shit. Okay, because if you're gonna go, for instance, create content and do the shit, it should look like this, get it done, move on, be done with it. Okay, if you're gonna do a bunch of client fulfillment, I'm like, do as much of it like this and that and stack it so you don't have to keep switching and bleed it out all the time. Okay. Then when you have your low energy time, I'm like, you know when you should do what you should do on low energy times? Most likely have your calls. Okay. It's a great time when you, because if you're on calls, you're going to be forced to summon and show up. Okay. What I probably personally wouldn't do is if you have a hard time doing outbound, don't outbound during your downtime. Let's say you're on PST on an earlier time zone, okay, or you start early, and then you're outbounding, let's say to PST to Eastern, okay. I'm like, do a whole half shift, then take a gym break in the middle of the day when you have your low energy, then come back and then work the second shift. You got to like play the game and get strategic with your energy and high leverage. Am I giving you? I want to just open this up for quick. So the trap is thinking you're stretched because you don't think it's achievable for you to hit the next level of goal or income or whatever it is because you're like, I'm already doing so much. I'm like, no, I want you to know there's a difference between effective and ineffective. Okay, that's one. The second trap, this one is so insane. Okay, is the strategy. Are you doing the right strategy? Are you doing the, if you keep putting time, energy, and effort onto the same thing and it's not working, it's like, bro, there's a point where you gotta be like, I think I've exhausted this one strategy enough, and it's just a strategy problem. Do you understand what I mean by that? Okay, so I'll give you an out-of-box example. Okay. Sometimes people are like an ass. They can't make more money because they can't set more. They can't get more calls on account. Everyone understand that example? Okay, because they're like, dude, we're already doing this, or my setters are doing that, or if it's a solopreneur, they're like, I'm already doing that. And like they're already maxed out. And I'm like, have you considered that if you upgraded the content that nurtures the lead, you would get more bookings? Or have you considered adding an additional traffic source? Example, one of our clients, they're about close to 80 grand in cash collected, right? We started, I don't know, very early on, and then they're now 80 grand cash collected, and they have like close to 70% profit margins. Okay, very healthy business, great business to be in. Okay, and they're trying to ramp up, and they're hiring, and we're like, mind you, they don't run ads, just processes. So they're trying to do more of the exact same thing, which I'm like, amazing, this is great. And I'm like, have you guys considered, is it time for us to plug in a new channel? So you just double the efforts, right? Like it's important to keep doing more of the thing that's already working. But I'm like, you could also add more. But people don't think about like, what if I add more? It's not a distraction, right? If I could just add more and keep the main thing the main thing. Do you understand what I mean? And I'm like, well, have you considered like doing that? Or have you considered changing the process of what you're currently doing as a split test? You keep the same process. Whenever you change something, I'm like, split test. Small portion of the traffic, small portion of the opportunity, test it with a difference in the process. See if this can beat that. Because your goal is trying to beat the thing. Because if you do this pivot and it beats that, I'm like, well, fuck this. Just do more of this now. Right? But sometimes people just keep doing more, exact same thing, but they don't change the process. I'm like, have you considered that maybe your opt-in is low because your landing page sucks? So you keep pushing more traffic, but your landing page sucks. Or have you considered people opt in, your branding is so bad that then they churn and you don't see them? Have you considered your setting process to convince and persuade someone is so long because they're missing these elements? So you just keep doing more of the long process. Have you considered that your sales skill is not there? So it takes you that much longer or that much harder or multiple calls to get to the same person, to the same outcome. But if you were skilled up, you would get there faster. But we don't question that. I used to coach in the SaaS space. There's a few industries that I won't touch. I won't touch SaaS or like the longer sales cycle. I won't touch insurance. But I remember the SaaS side. They were so long, and I would like coach them through. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they send so many emails. Like part of the thing, they just like hammer email automations, and they're like, yeah, man. And they would literally tell me like, yeah, Nas, it takes us 40 days of touch points and all these emails and all these sequences to get one book call. And I would be like, and I remember I would go into some of these like big companies and I'd go see it. I'm like, have you considered that this is just trash what you guys are sending out? And their solution was just to send more trash. They would hire all these people, right? Because they have all this budget. They just hire all these people and just do the same trash. And then one of them would get a booking because the lifetime value was so high. And they just do more of that. I'm like, have you considered that this is just a horrendous process? And because it's so easy and duplicatable that every kid under the sun can do the same thing, and you all look and sound the same, and you're saying the same freaking GPT bullshit responses, templated, and you're just spamming people, and eventually someone responds. So they don't question the process. So they just keep doing the same thing. I'm like, dude, the process is broken. So what I'm trying to explain is when you look at your calendar, I want you to just challenge all the things that you're doing. Okay. And it's very simple. I'll teach you guys my frame. This is what I use internally when I coach you. I'm just going to give you as much value as I can to wrap us here. Okay. MAPS. MAPS. I'll save you some coaching. Mindset, activity, process, skill. You have to look at the thing and be like, okay, is it my mindset that's limiting this increased output? Okay. Is it, am I not doing enough activity? Sometimes you just don't have enough activity. There's no reps. Okay. Is it a process? That's what I was talking. Is the process deficient or am I lacking skill? And sometimes this is where it gets tricky. Because you lack skill, your mindset collapses. So you keep thinking you have a broken mindset, but the broken mindset is because you lack the skill. Sometimes the process sucks and it's so painful that you can't do much activity. So it looks like a process activity. But because of that, you have so much dread, so your mindset collapses. So just understand that some might be an insight to something else. But I'm like, if I came to audit something, you're stuck. I'm stuck. Like, this took me so long to figure out. I'm like, oh, mental framework works all the time. Maps. And I just listen and I look at the thing. I'm like, oh, sounds like an activity problem. Mindset, right? And the truth is, most people are not doing enough activity. They never shift or challenge their process, and their skill is not there. So their mindset is never sufficient. Or their mindset is sufficient in preference. They're just okay with it. They're like, I'm good. They don't question. And I'm like, dude, beat a cycle. Right? Like, ask Elias. He's our head coach at NBC. Okay. All the time. I'm always like, okay, but like, how do we do this better? It's like, it'd be like I'm like, how do we make this faster? How do we remove this thing? I'm always just like, I want to just challenge the problem. Why does it have to take us that long? Why does it have to take just 2 steps? I'm always challenging the standard. Like, I'm pretty fucking annoying to work with, okay? Because I'm always just grinding on something. Like, how to make this better? How to make this faster? Why does it have to be that? Why can't we shift that? Yeah, I know, but like, I know that's current limitation, but how do you just have to keep challenging? Why can't we get to that? Why does it have to take this? Do you understand? You have to keep challenging it over and over and over and over and over. Don't track them. And then you're like, huh, this makes sense. And I'm going to show you the most inspirational thing that I had of the year. Okay. And this is going to be a mind breaker for a bunch of you. Hopefully this hits you so hard that like it wakes something out of your soul. Okay. And oh no, I can't find it. No, wait, I think I got it. Hold on. I'm not going to leave you hanging like that. Hold on. I think, oh shoot. This is awkward. I might not have it. Okay, wait. Okay, we might have to leave you guys hanging on that. Okay, I don't think I have it. But point is, mindset, activity, that's a huge click if you apply it to your life. You just look at the thing. What is here that is missing that I need to shift? Okay. And the purpose of all this. Any questions on the calendaring system? You're not meant to get it perfect. Okay. But the thing, if I did make it clear, you have to lifetime update it. So as the day goes, you have pit stops, like you create buffers or you leave blank space and you just review. Okay, what did I actually do? And then what I personally do, and I want you to do, and this is such a life hack, which will help you with your weekly review, is whatever you do in the activity, put it. Okay. So when you look back and like, what did I do this week? Okay. This is what I mean. Here, it could say, call with Bob. Okay. And this is a random reactive activity. So I'll put this as wasted time. Then what you'll find is you might end up like here having like randomly cooked meal. Anyone know what I'm talking about? No one. Okay. You just like randomly went and had this meal. Then you randomly went and did this. And then what you'll start to find is that whatever the activity you do, just keep putting in the activities. So at the end of the day, what you want to have in here is a log, a timestamp of all the things that you did. Okay. And when you end your day, I'm just going to warn you, you will be very, very, very fucking pissed off. And you'll be relieved at the same time. Because you will truly understand why you're not further ahead. Okay. Because we have this thing, humans, called time blindness. We have blindness to time. And the days go. Because we don't audit it and reflect. We don't have the awareness. If we don't have the awareness, we can't make the change. So the change doesn't come. Because we're not aware of it. But then when you log it all and you're forced to put it and end your day auditing it, and you're like, wow, what did I actually do today? And then why, I was just showing you Google, which is super simple, is you start looking and you can just look at the colors and then you can see what the week numbers are. And you're like, man, I only did 6 hours to drive revenue this week. And then why am I not further ahead by that? Right? And then you're like, well, I wasted, here in this case, 2.3 hours. Okay. And that yellow, I usually like yellow for instance, I put DCAs. So it's yellow, it sticks out. It means I haven't planned this out yet. Okay. And then when you plan what this is, okay, let's just say as an example, you're like follow up with lost deals. Okay. When you put this is not clear enough that you have to put stuff in the notes. Okay. So you use the planning to plan the plan. So you don't show up to the time and then figure out what you're trying to do, because then you'll waste a lot of mental energy. You want the plan to have the plan. So here, let's say I lost Bob, David, okay, Brandy, Christian, just picking some of the names here. And then all you're doing, if you don't need to like link the CRM, at this slot, okay, this 1 hour, so when I get to this time, I'm going to go and hit up these people. So you're trying to take a bit of that proactive measure to prep, not just, okay, like you don't want to do this. Okay. Let's say for my guys that create content. Okay. Let's say it's a film module or content or reel or YouTube. The nightmare is to have this. This is the worst block you can ever have. Who here has done a block like this where you show up, or they do this? People will do this. They're like, deep work. Anyone? And then you go to the slot and you're like, all right, deep work. Okay. And then you're like, bro, I'm deep working. Okay. Thank you for the honesty. That's me, low. Okay. And then you're like, okay, you click the CRM, then you're here, then you click there, and then you're on Slack, and then somehow you're on IG, right? And then you're like in school, I don't know. Okay. And then you're like, oh shit, what the hell? And then you're like, where did the day go? So even when you plan, okay, someone's like, I'm going to train. They plan a training block. I'm like, bro, what are you going to train? Girl, what are you going to train? You can't say train. Okay. That could be, I'm an elite. I'm going to go to this portal, watch this 23-minute objection hand. Right. We have 30 plus modules just on advanced objection hand. And these are not like fluff 5-minute things. I'm like, these will go for, I'm not even going to freak you out. Okay. So I'm like, great. That's your thing. You're going to study these 2 objections and you're going to go deep because it's going to take 45 minutes for these 2 handles to learn all the psychology. I'm like, great. You put block, training, objection hand, 45 minutes, 20 minutes to review. Great. 1 hour. Does that make sense? So then all you're trying to do is just, if I use me, I'm like a puppy. I'm done. Okay. I'm very okay to say I'm done. I'm very done. If you don't give me a plan, I'm just like, whoa. You just want to touch things, look at things. Okay. Everyone's always fighting for my time. There's infinite work for me to do. There's a million things I could work on between anything of what we do, from our different business units, from our cologne brand that we have, right? From the coaching brand, there's a million things to do. It never ends. So it's very easy to do. I could stay busy forever and do fuck all for the business at the same time. Can I get an amen? Y'all with me? Okay. Yes. It's very easy, but here's the really cool part. Okay. This is a universal struggle. So that's the good thing. You should get selfish about this. It's a universal struggle, which means your competitors struggle with the same thing. People in the marketplace on the come up struggle with the same thing. The guy or gal that's maybe a little bit further ahead of you has maybe overcame a bit of this. So the good thing is universal struggle. The great thing is most people don't have the coaching, and most people aren't here. So they don't have the awareness, they don't have the strategy, they don't have the skills, they don't have the minds, they don't have the things to help them get out of it. Okay. So you got to look at it and get excited. Then you're like, okay, I got a lot of these clicks. I got a lot of this stuff. So if we go and recap it, okay, the first thing we talked about is, okay, I got to get out of my own way, because every time I go take action, consciously, I'm okay, I'm going to go do this thing. But if I'm not working on my inner thoughts and reflections, and one of the best ways that I told you to reflect is as soon as a thought comes up, capture it. Hey, Siri, blah, blah, blah. If you're an Android, kick rocks. Okay. I don't know why you still have an Android. You put the thing. Okay. And I'll show you simple, very simple little things. Okay. Things I absolutely love. Oh, dude, man, I just hit the lap. Okay. As soon as I wake up, I don't check my phone, but I turn on a timer. Okay. And the purpose of it is you leave it running at the front of the phone. And I'll just explain something. Okay. I'll leave this in front of the phone. Okay. So let's say I woke up and I'm going to get ready and go to the gym. This hack has been I don't know how long ago I started this, but iPhones didn't used to do it up here. So it was a little bit more manual. Now it does. Okay. So what I do, as soon as you wake up, you turn it on. And then every time you do a transition, I lap it. Okay. And here's what I mean. So let's say I wake up and I'm trying to go to the gym. My goal, ideally, is I want to leave the house within 15 minutes from doing the gym in the morning. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll wake up and I'll hit time. And then what will happen is you're leaving to the gym and you're like, it took me 38 minutes. And then you're going to sit there and you're like, wait, what the? I did 38 minutes and I did nothing. I brushed my teeth and I put on my clothes. Do you get what I mean? I'm like, you just lost 38 minutes. And you don't realize. Then I'm like, how long does the commute go? And then I go, boop, time. How's the commute? How long's my workout? And I was like, wow, I talked a bunch of bullshit to random people for no reason. How long did it take me to get back? How long after I got back till I got, and then all you keep doing is lap, 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 lap. And it just gives me massive awareness on where the day's going and how slow I'm moving. And every transition, I'm hitting the lap. And then when you look at it, you're like, and then when you reflect on the day, you look at the things and you challenge the process of why it had to take you that much time. Is this too much? Am I losing some of y'all? I'm like, change. Okay, we got some non-camera incognito. We got Tessa, Kofi, Christian, Gonzalo, Brandy, Apu. I don't know. Raldi invited someone, so they still got the couple are Raldis. I'm gonna DM these people. I wonder who they are. Okay, let's see. Who are you? Bless us with an intro. Drop it in the chat. I want to know who this individual is and this other Iraldi, the shy ones. Hopefully they're like some, I was like, pray it's like a funnel hack. Just watch, hanging out. Hey, what's up? Okay, Brandy, Nikki. There we go. What's up, Brandy? Okay. So you look at which one's the real Iraldi. That's actually a great question. I don't know which one it is. Okay. So challenge the timing. Okay, so you look at the time. So we're going back. Okay, you want to drive the urgency. You have to have the awareness on the timing. Easiest thing: lap, 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 lap. See all the time. Update the calendar. Update the calendar. Update the calendar. Okay. Easy ways is when you update the calendar. Let's say it was like a gym block, gym, and then you could put in the notes. 15-minute commute, 22 minutes. I don't know where the hell it went to. Da 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 da. And then you'll get pissed off about it. That's why I said you're gonna be pissed, but you feel excited because you're like, man, if I got this far like this, leaps and bounds. If I buy back all this time, because what will happen is if you're not already there, eventually you run out of time. Like my whole problem is I'm maxed out. Like there's never any time. So I was like, how do I buy back more time? How do I get more time? How do I hire someone, a new process, I just need more time, because there's no more. Oh my God, I don't get any. So you start to value this time a lot more. But the point is, lap, 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 lap. Okay. You have to consciously create the identity of the person you are trying to grow into. You will get my manifesto. I'll package it very beautifully, send it to you in a shareable doc, an editable doc, so you can edit it and customize it to you. Do not be lazy. Like that is my heart, soul, values, principles, aspirations, everything in it. If you love it, run with it. If you don't, tweak it to you. Okay, I put in there, I will not get by distraction, by lust. What's distraction? Lust. I'm always like fighting it. I'm like, no lust, no lust. Okay, great. I'm like, I know that's a distraction for me. Okay, food, pleasures, whatever. If it's porn for you, if it's what, just put the things in there. So remind yourself. And yeah, this is who I'm trying to become. This is what we do. This is how we show up. This is what we don't do. And you have to read that with conviction, with energy and intention. Because as you do, as you become. So like, I'm growing into this woman. I'm growing into this man. How do you grow into that person if you don't know? For my ladies on here, right? Ladies have this thing where they hope hopelessly that their man is going to change. Unless that man is into personal development, that dude ain't never going to change. Okay. But in the relationship, they're clear about what they hope that person would change. See, the men are dumb. We just don't know. Okay. But the ladies, they're like, I hope this guy would be more like this. They have clarity in that, but they don't do the clarity on themselves. Who do I need to become? Who do I want to be? Right? That's what we don't do. That's the trap. We can see it in other people. We see, you know what I'm talking about? You want to change these things about other people, but not yourself. So we have to go and be like, this is what I'm trying to grow into. And you have to make it a declaration, read into it, and then have to take the actions to be congruent with that type of person. Because that's what enforces it. If you read it and you do F all every single day, bullshit. You won't believe it. But if you do it and you attempt and you fight to grow into that person, over the days, it starts to weave in. Do you guys follow? Y'all tracking? It's not about being perfect. I'm giving you you're not going to hit it 100% perfect. I don't think ever. But it's on the pursuit. The pursuit. Okay? You're just always trying to pursue and work towards it. Okay? Because end of the day, what we are trying to do is remember that as we do all of this, we start to rewire our subconscious. and we start to imagine you just by default start to become that person like, you go, girl, you got this. I believe in you. It's okay. You're doing that call. You're in the close. They give you an objection. You're scared. You don't have the courage to ask for another time or to rehandle them or say or ask that hard question. But you've been building up your identity. Your subconscious, boom, feeds you the question with full conviction. You do it because you showed up as that type of person, right? And you start to rewire, and you're like, okay, great. I'm going to keep ascending. I'm not going to drift. I'm an ascender. Just what we do. We keep ascending. We keep ascending. We keep ascending because everything that I have at the stage in my life is in direct proportion and correlation to the person I'm choosing to be. You get that choice. And if you don't choose and actively build your life by design, it is built by default. And if you're here, you do not want a life by default. Can I get an amen on a Sunday? You want some design, some architect, some beauty. Something I wanted you to remember is that you have so much in you, so much greatness. When you were sitting there visualizing, whether you connected deeply or not, I'm like, that's all within you. That's all your spirit, your well-being. That is all within your path. And if it is not that crystal clear, the more time you spend, because we spent less than 0.2% of a given day thinking about our idealized future and idealized self. That's why we don't have a pull, a motivation that is inspiring us to go. But the more frequent, even if you just got it to a minute or 2 minutes, that you're like, I'm just going to spend, think, who am I trying to become? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want? Because end of the day, reasons come first. What are we trying to do? The $1 million question. I didn't spend much time on it here, which I want you to do on your own is, why do I want these things? Why do I want these things? Okay. You want to take care of your mom. Great. Why? It's not that simple. Why? Well, she loved me so much. Okay. Feel the gratitude of her loving on you and taking care of you and putting up with your shit. And then imagine how she's going to feel when you do this thing that takes care of her. Imagine what she's going to say to you. She's going to say, thank you, son. Thank you, daughter. Thank you. What? I'm like, great. Imagine that. Let that shit pull you. Do you see the point? Not, I want to retire my mom. I'm like, great. No. Play that movie of how that convo is going to look like on that thing of what you're going to do and what it's going to feel like. Tap into that emotion in the beginning of your day. Great. I want to experience that. Great. What am I going to do today to get to there? Do you understand? You want to get fit? What does that body look like? Great. You want some vanity? Think about someone giving you a compliment. Think about that conversation. Think about whatever the case may be. Who are you going to celebrate with? Who are you going to share? Who are you going to inspire? You got to tap into that and you just bring it in. Okay. And at first, you can't see it. You can't feel it. You can't process it. One of my favorite things, okay, if you're trying to change your environment, show up to our center's calls, okay? You can't miss what you haven't experienced. Hey, man, my guy's been paying attention, okay? You're like, man, I love this. I want more. Great. DM me a send. See if you fit to join Elite. We train every single day, hour and a half every single day minimum, okay? We're beating the crap out of my AI. That's probably going to be, might be the smartest artificial intelligence salesperson on the planet. He's going to have insane trainings that you can FaceTime, call, role play, call review. I'm never going to make it. I might change my mind. It's not going to be available to the public, but it'll only be available to our clients. And if you're like, hey, not Elite, great, join the Ascenders Tribe. We're live like at least 3 times a week. Just show up. It's not that hard. It's in the calendar. Okay. But if you're like, okay, I'm not in that environment, I'm like, great, have virtual mentors. Okay. Some of the people that you want to go learn and train from, and also to expand your thinking. I want you to view things that expand your thinking. Okay. That would be a fun one. That would be a fun one. That would be a fun one. I'll make sure to do mine bald too, so we can match. I just got to get a little bit more jacked so I can get on his level. But if you go and you're like, you're not dreaming big enough, go spend some time. Like one of the things I've always done, YouTube walking tour. I've always done that. YouTube walking tour. Why? Because I just want to see that stuff. I want to just see it. I'm like, okay, familiar. Do you understand? Familiar. See it, feel it, experience it, get pulled by it. Get the things that you want. So just gets more known. Okay. And the things that we look at is the things that will drive us when you're trying to figure out your whys is sense of mission, magic, mission, aliveness, growth, importance, connection. Okay. And you want to understand it because you want to pull the levers that pull you. Do you understand? If you have a deep drive and there's nothing wrong with it, and you're like, man, this give me a sense of duty, sense of aliveness, sense of this, great, fight, go make it. And if it doesn't, be like, how can I make it? How can I generate? Please remember, one of the golden things I did not touch about is we don't have emotions. We do emotions. You don't have gratitude. You do gratitude. You don't have angry. You do angry. You don't have sadness. You do sad. You don't magically just get an emotion. You do it. You have to generate it. You have to bring it into existence. It doesn't just come. People are like, you have so much. I'm like, you think I just wake up? I'm like, hi, I'm so happy-go-lucky, amazing, so good. Ha ha ha. Haha. Hi, Mickey. Oh, thanks for tuning in today, guys. Oh, it's been a great day. It's like, no, you got to do the stuff to generate it. I thought it was a pretty good Mickey Mouse, but it's all good. I'm trying. Thank you, Ed. I saw. Trying real hard. I was trying to see Tyler would be with us. Okay. Don't I do every morning. Hi, good morning, Ness. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. So you gotta look at, okay, great. I want to connect with that. I gotta level up some of these. You know what? If your health is out of whack, it's your time to draw the demarcation line. Okay. If your relationships are horrendous, it is the demarcation line. Okay. If you're at a point where your spirit is off, it's the demarcation line. Okay. Because you have to get crystal clear about the goals. What am I trying to accomplish at this stage of my life? What am I trying to accomplish at this stage of my business? Okay. What about the things that we talked about? And you have to articulate and you're like, cool, got it. This next 30 days, this is what it's going to be like. This is what it's going to feel like. This is why I'm doing it. Okay. And then we go back to the calendar, how we showed you how you map it out. Great. What are the daily committed actions that I'm going to do every single day to get me there? What are the DCAs that I'm going to get to? What is going to be my weekly rhythm? How am I going to run that play and manage that play? And you keep updating the times. You keep updating the reflections. You keep updating all those things. Y'all with me? And you build that so you have that. Okay. And the thing that is going to drive us, I'm going to wrap us up with probably the central, most important teaching in this whole masterclass, which I didn't talk about. This, I would say, this is the single most important thing. Is we all have to make the decision. And the decision is the same as when I teach to consequence, a client, when it's real and deep, is I would go and I'd say, Tyler, when is your enough enough? That's a consequence question because it's a very real question. Because I'm saying, dude, when are we going to draw the fucking line in the sand that this is it? No more, no mask. This is the last day I let my excuses. This is the last day I let the victimhood. This is the last day I compromise my values. This is the last day I choose to live this life. And it all comes down to this decision. Because right now it's easy. You showed up and okay, I invested time. I learned some strategies. Who here got some great big takeaways? Just drop ones in the chat. Okay, I'm seeing all the hands, all the people in the cameras. Let's go. Okay. Christian kept popping in and out. I see him back and forth. Now we got some video. Look at that handsome stuff. Okay. Lots of ones. You got some takeaways. You got some insights. You got some ahas. Okay. But do you know what's going to keep reinforcing that? The decision is a daily decision. And how you articulate it is the decision. Not that, hey, I'm done with this, is the decision that you want to live an extraordinary life, that you want to live an amazing life, that you want to live an incredible life, that you want to live an alive life, that you want to live an abundant life. Because by term, extraordinary means you have to be extra. You have to do the above and beyond. You have to show up in a manner that most people won't. Amen, Jessa, with the final one, okay? You, to live an extraordinary life, have to do the extra things. Okay, and that decision you have to make every single day. Hey, I want to live an incredible life. I want to live an amazing life. I want to take care of people. I want to grow. I want to learn. I want to serve. Part of my, right? Like you have to make that decision every day. It sounds simplistic, but the more you do it, it shapes your identity. Because who here is fuck mediocrity, fuck average, fuck being like all there's so much mediocrity in the world. It's so easy to stand out. It's so easy to be great and to do with ethics, with great values in a way that inspires you, makes you proud, and makes you feel like an incredible person. So easy. Okay, but to have the extraordinary life, you have to make that decision. And my hope in this whole masterclass is that today that you made the decision right now that you're like, this is it, line in the sand. Metaphorically, I am done. I'm going to kill off this. I'm going to fight every day to kill off this old self. If you've been around me enough, and that's what I'm going to close this out. It's the same line I always say. Every single day, we get the choice to fight to summon the best of who you are. So every day, you get the choice to fight to bring the best of who you are. Okay, I have to remind you to fight to bring the best of you. Because sometimes you don't want to do it. Sometimes you don't want to show up. Sometimes you want to procrastinate. Sometimes you want to take the easy route. Sometimes you want to chill on the couch. Sometimes you just don't want to do shit. You're just like, I don't want to do it. Right? My head is throbbing right now. I've been standing for 3 hours. And I'm like, I'm going to be here. I'm going to show up. And I'm going to show up. And I'm going to still get to take the calls. I'm still going to film the YouTube. I'm still going to do the things, even if I don't want to do it, because I want to live an extraordinary life. I don't want to teach myself. And I want to know anytime. I've never asked my clients to do something I would never do. I still cold call. I still close deals on different offers, different industries, because I'll never be a hassle. I like to practice what I preach. I never want to be dated dinosaur, teach you shit that used to work 6, 12 months ago. All my coaches mandated, okay? They have to close on other offers outside of ours because we always have to be relevant. Standards of excellence, greatness, demanded, mandated. Because if you don't challenge yourself, sometimes I have this conversation with my clients. I'm just like, hey, do you understand that there's no one that's holding you to a higher standard? Do you all understand? Like, no one is going to hold you up. Like, it's you. There's no one else. It's not the responsibility of your boyfriend, your girlfriend, the person you sleep with, your parent, your friend, teammate, nothing. Not even your coach. I mean, I'll hold you to freaking high standard, but end of the day, it's your responsibility. You have to give a shit about your success more than anyone else on the planet. You have to give a shit about your abundance more than anyone else on the planet. Because it's better way off that you get all the success and abundance, because I know you'll do freaking amazing, incredible things and support and serve and create so much abundance around you. And money is not evil. Okay? People talk about like, I'm like, no, it's okay to want a lot of money. As long as you know you're going to do good things with it. I'm unapologetic about my mission and how much money I want to make, because I know I'll do great things with the money. I know I'll help more people. Okay. If you're going to cheat and snake and be horrible, I'm like, different. But it's okay to want money. I don't know. Maybe someone needed that permission. So I'm like, it's okay for you to get very hungry and obsessed about money. As long as you do it with ethics, you take care of people, you never lie, you never cheat, you never screw someone over. Okay. You don't take advantage of people. You sell something that's great, that helps people, or that you're fighting to make it great, right? That you're not in it for the, crash gabs and, rinse some people and, disappear. If you take care, I'm like, it's your right. You should want money. You should want abundance. You should want growth. You should want it all, and you should have it all, and it's okay to do. Because it's your time, baby. It's your freaking time. Can I get a amen on a Sunday? Oh, man, it's your time. You deserve it. It's your decision. It's your commitment. Because every single freaking day, you get that choice. You're going to fight. You're going to summon the best of who you are. You're going to step and ascend into who you're meant to be, or you're going to drift, or you're going to slack. But that ain't you, because you're killing that old shit. And every single day, you're going to make that fight. You're going to make that progress. You're going to make that momentous leap, because as it compounds day after day, day after day, I promise you the rest of your life, your weeks, your month, your trajectory will be wildly different. Because who here knows, if you just committed a little bit more, you tapped into some more of this, you planned a little bit more, articulated a bit more, took more discipline, committed action, that your trajectory would change. Like, you're like, man, I'm doing good. You're going to go skyrocket. Y'all with me? Yeah. So I promised you guys that I would open it up for Q&A. So I'm just going to maybe 3-4 questions. I want to open it up. And if you don't have anything to share, and while people are asking their questions, I want to know, what did you love about today's session, this masterclass, this vision and goal setting? Do you feel that you got immense value, that if you were charged for this, that you wouldn't charge back? I'm just joking. It rhymes. Okay. Share. You guys have a blessed one. Okay. Glad you came. Eraldi, before you leave, which Eraldi is this? Is this the real Eraldi? Eraldi, was that you? No. It was the
No, that
fake
was not the real
Eraldi.
one.
Oh, we don't know who that Eraldi was. I want to know who they were. Yeah. All right. If you have Q&A, put your hand up and I'll answer you guys. If you're not, I don't think there's any clients on it. Maybe one. Ask your question. Sorry, put the Zoom hand. I didn't mean physical, but physical hand works. Okay, let's go. Sit down. Okay, let's do rapid fire, and then I'll preach this out. Yes, go.
What's up, Anas? This is great. I had a great time. I really appreciate it. Got a ton of great takeaways. My favorite one that you did was the one I sent in the chat a little bit earlier, that you can't miss, like what you haven't experienced.
What you haven't
Like
experienced.
that really resonated. So that was really good.
Very nice. Very nice.
But
So
my
good.
question was about you were talking about Eat the Frog earlier, and
Yeah.
as salespeople, as business owners, like eating the frog, like usually that would be prospecting or sales calls, right? But like you can't. It's a little hard to do at like 7 a.m. in the morning or 5 a.m. in the morning when most people are asleep. So I just wanted to know if you have any like what would you recommend as like an eat the frog task if you can't do those two, which are the hardest tasks
Yes.
to do?
Very good. Are you on Eastern time? I think you're on Eastern, right?
Yeah, Eastern time.
Okay, cool. So the morning slot, like you technically can be on revenue generating activities by 9 a.m. Eastern. Okay. So if you're waking up earlier, which you should, I would use that to build you up. Okay. So that's you boot camp. Okay. So if you're on Eastern, I'm like, I would work out in the morning and then train. So you get sharp. Okay. So you're like, I feel alive. I poured into me. Okay. The greatest time. Do you know what I do when I work out? I just think about my goals, my vision. I just dream. And I just think, dream, like just I'm just pouring it into my mind. So it's like right. What sucked is this like, I don't know, feels like a lifetime because of concussion and the cuts. I'm like, I can work out. I was like, I feel horrible. I hated not being able to work it, right? But I was like, oh, this is like my time to like pour in on top of it. So point is, I would use the morning to pour into you so that I would rev up and I would train and I would
Mhm.
prep all the strategic things that can help me. Dude, you have pending deals, follow-ups. I know you call some people that said, send me this thing, da, 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 and it was a good thing. And if you just nurture it a little bit more, you would bring them over, but you don't. Right. So it's like I would like be prepping all that kind of stuff and then like hard start, right? The most important thing I look at is first eye, last eye. What I mean by that is if you're self-managing yourself, you have to go, okay, I'm committed no matter what. As soon as this time hits, I'm going to start hitting the phones, right? And once I hit this amount, I can take a break. Great. Then like you have to get really good standards and guidelines around how you operate. And eating the frog is just pouring into you because if you have more energy, do you know what's easier? Outbound sales, closing, follow-up, objection. Everything is so much easier when you have more energy.
Mhm. All right,
Do
got
you
it.
get what I mean?
Thank you very
Like
much.
right now,
Mhm.
there's no one I can't close. I'm like, I'm peak alive, right? Even if my head's bopping, I'm like, I'm great. But if I wasn't, it'd be way harder. There's way more dread. Just understand the hardness of the work that you guys do. You feel it when you're at a low energetic state.
Mhm.
Okay. It's only hard because you're at a low energetic state. You have to get your state up, then do all the other stuff. It gets way easier. Did I answer your question? Okay. Tyler.
What's going on, man? I had a
What's
question
up?
about the limiting beliefs and changing those. So we talked a lot about consciously changing them, right? So
Yes.
affirmations, actually consciously thinking, no, I'm this way or it's this way,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes,
As
yes,
opposed to
yes,
this. And we talked about noticing certain patterns in our thinking. But is there
yes,
anything other than just living congruently with what you consciously believe, to change those
yes,
subconscious beliefs? Or is
yes.
it just doing that for enough time
No,
that it
no, no.
changes
There's sorry.
automatically?
Thank you for asking. I'm so grateful you asked this. I completely for shift your inflow. Okay. So think of it this. Um, it's a like I've coached people through depression, suicide, addiction, all of that. And one of the things initially when I coach them, one of the things we have to do, the number one thing that I found throughout my whole career that changes anyone is changing the inflow. So what we do is, and maybe I'll drop my link. That there's only outside of what I do, there's very little things that I aggressively promote and believe in. And Growth Day is the world's number one personal development app, and it's the one I recommend above all else to all of our clients, to every single person. I'll drop you the link for it. And the reason is, you can get daily um, trainings every single day where you can listen to the simplest thing. What I mean about inflow of every single day is think about your net time, no extra time. Okay. Tony coined that term, at least that's where I learned it from. Is we already do so much stuff. So let's say you're cleaning, you're cooking, you're in transit, you're driving. I'm like, just listen to personal development type content. Does that make sense? And what happens is that inflow plus the active work that you're doing, it starts to just rewire your whole mind. It starts to rewire your whole mind, right? Because now you have all these thoughts, all these things, right? All these things just pour in, pour in, pour in, and then you're thinking you like I can't tell you how insane you're. Part of why we coach so much is also like we need to help people so much, but I'm also like feeding in all the stuff through the mind over and over and over and over and over and over. That repetition plus the internal work, game changer. So I would take your consumption time and put in things that will inspire. And Growth Day is by far absolutely, it's like $50 a month. It's insulting how cheap it is. You can journal, reflect, training some of the world's best speakers and train. Like it, I can't say enough things about it. For $50 a month. Like if you have to choose between our school tribe and Growth Day, I would say go with Growth Day because that's how I profound. I believe it is.
All right. Thanks. I really appreciate
Does
it.
that answer? Yeah. Massive
Absolutely.
massive
Okay.
inflow of great. And I should probably warn of the trap. If you guys have people in your social, if I find someone that I catch myself giving an impression every time, I hide them. Even if they're friends, if I find myself catching a judgment on someone, I'll just hide or unfollow because I was like, then it causes me to be in judgment. And I'm like, I don't want to just constantly rewire this, so I'll just remove it. Okay. So, so you guys jump. I'm just gonna rapid fire the last couple questions and then close this out. So, inflow, goodness, pour it into every single day, and that's why I said Growth Day. There's a daily fire every single day. There's like a 10 to 15-minute teaching in there from Brendan, different topics on psychology, productivity, purpose, faith, everything you can imagine. So that's why I promote it pretty aggressive, and that's my referral link if you want to go sign up there. Okay, Brandy, hit us. What you got?
Hey, how you doing?
What's
I
up?
just
Now she
wanted
comes on camera. All right.
Cause you didn't call on me, and I'm like, hold up, my hand was raised. Let me
Uh,
put my camera on because I got a question. So I just want to understand, make sure I'm understanding right as far as the productivity. That's like one of my biggest takeaways. Thank you, honestly, because that's like what I've been struggling with. Um, as far as
you are
us
not alone.
tracking. Thank you. As far as us tracking live in real time, like what we're doing, right? I understand, right? We're looking back on the week, but do you then recommend, like, say, after this week, I do that, I track every day. Okay, where did my day go? How am I spending my time? Next week, are you recommending that I be proactive and like plan it ahead? Because how are you like planning your?
You have to. So what you're trying to do. So the end goal really is you're like, how do I win a month? Okay, which is very daunting task. So you go, how do I
Yeah.
win a week? Which is also very freaky. The goal, I'm like, win a day, and really in a day, I'm like, win a few hours, like win a segment of the day. That's ultimately the initial goal. So if I'm coaching, I'm like, let's get you to win 3 hours today. Where you're like,
Okay.
I intentionally planned this block, executed on it, did it with grace. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
the purpose of what you're trying to do is you're like, I want to build the muscle to be like, I can win a day where I could plan
Okay.
it, get most of the day. Like you want to plan and execute the plan, but shit's always going to come up, right? It's not about you're going to get it perfectly that, hey, I have to like do every little thing. Like things are going to come up. You have to have that flexibility, but you're trying to say, hey, I'm going to intentionally, okay, plan and work the plan as best to my ability, even if I get it 60, 70, 80% to the plan. And I want to be
I
able to
got you.
repeat that over multiple days. So the end goal is you have to be planning every single day. So
Got you.
today, you're even if because you might not
Planning for
initially
tomorrow.
have, yeah, you might not be able to know how to plan the week, and that's okay. I'm like, win tomorrow. So today, you're like, what am I trying to accomplish tomorrow? Right? You're like, I got this, and that. There's some like fixed commitments. Then you have to go, okay, what do I want to accomplish? The reason why you want to look at the week is when you know what you're trying to accomplish the week, then you look at your calendar. You're like, well, this day is already pretty busy. It doesn't make sense for me to like, do you get what I mean? You start to
Yeah.
be able to plan certain things at different days. And you're like, okay, this week I'm going to have these outcomes and I'm going to plan these outcomes throughout the days. But yes, to answer your question, you want to plan every single day and you want to audit every single day lifetime. And the more
I see. It's
frequent,
the audit.
the more,
Okay.
more frequent you can audit the day, the more effective. So if you can audit the day 4 or 5 times initially, that's incredible. If you can just get it to 2 times a day or 1 time a day, great. But initially just be very aggressive with it and
Mhm.
you'll have so much feedback. It's gonna break your head. I promise you, if you guys do this, you're gonna DM me, holy shit, and that alone will change your life. You will have
Thank
so
you
much
so much.
breakthroughs.
Yeah.
You'll see, because now you're gonna go, I can literally output so much more and you can have more free time. People are like, I never have
Mm-hmm.
free time. I'm like, you can have more free time when you realize how much time you're losing to reaction and randomness and aimlessness. And that when you get
Mm-hmm.
way more intentional and diligent with it, you'll get way more done in less time. And you can actually block out like free time to do you. And you can
I love it.
structure your life more appropriate to. But it all starts with that awareness and diligence. So I would tell you, get intense. So
Mm-hmm.
get frequent. Like, okay, let me just build a habit. Then start getting like intense with it. And you will just, it will just start to be a muscle and you'll get really great at it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Beautiful question. Beautiful question. Let's give it up. Yeah. Was that the final question of the day? She's like, nah, I'm done with y'all. I'm out. Okay. All right. Folks, I freaking appreciate y'all for taking the time to commit to show up. I promise you some cool bonuses. So I want to be a man of my word. We're gonna craft it, slice it, dice it, pop it. So for everyone that attended, we'll send you I just want to remember the commitment exactly, so my team will keep me honest. I believe you're going to get a live closing call, live set call. I'll show you some hard ones, maybe like a 10K sale, 7.5K sale with like some aggressive objections, maybe an A-type prospect. So we'll see how adventurous we get. These are on different offers that I've closed on. So we'll get you that. So you guys will get some call recordings of mine. You will get the Ascender Manifesto, customizable one, so you could do it on your own and tweak it to yourself. And the last thing, if you don't know, okay, and predominantly if you're in high ticket, this is obviously for you. If you're not, less relevant. If you don't know somehow, the Ascenders Tribe, which Elias can drop the link in there. If you're not already in it, what you guys are going to start seeing in February. Okay, I just operationally, it's a little bit complex, so we're at the tail end of it. In there, I'm going to be streaming live sales calls. Okay, so we already did this in December, which was insane. We literally had the camera, and I took, did I do 3 offers? Two or 3 offers? I don't remember.
I think you took
Okay.
4 calls total.
I don't even know. Okay, I was just like streaming, and you guys saw me live taking the sales calls, which is nuts. Okay, and I know how we do that. So I streamed live sales calls on different offers in different industries, and you guys watch me take them live. No prep, just jumping in over the shoulder. Yeah, it wasn't over the shoulder. It was like you see the monitor. It was sick. It was sick. So I'm going to be doing that. Different offers, different industries. If you guys don't know, in the Ascender Tribe, so we have call reviews. Literally in the link, there's a link. Okay, and it's rather than paying thousands of dollars, you just being in the tribe. You click the link, you submit your call, and we will review it live for you and give you coachable and actionable. We'll teach you things from NBC sales without even teaching you the whole process. We will customize it to whatever process you're doing. So when we coach you, we don't want to mess you up, because if we're not coaching you full time, we're like, hey, we're going to coach you on your specific things on how to improve it, whatever process you're using. Okay, so we'll coach you from NBC strategies to contextualize it to that. So we have call reviews, we have high performance calls. So if you're like, hey, I love this, okay, you want a slither of it? We have high performance calls, and they'll cover purpose, productivity, persuasion, influence, mindset, leadership. There's going to be different topics, and they'll alternate. Okay, then we have Q&A calls. There'll be Q&A bottleneck calls where you can come in, business, sales. There'll be an element of it where you can. We're going to blend those in. It's a little bit crazy to do those. And we'll solution, whether it's a marketing problem, so whether it's from ads, content, settings, sales, whatever it is, we'll solve a bottleneck or constraint for you live. Okay, so literally live call reviews, high performance calls. We're streaming live sales calls. And I'm trying to think. And then there's for those that want an upgrade, there's the Ask Me Anything. It's a private VIP group. It's a separate calls on the weekend, and that is with me, and we go deep dive anything on business, sales, leadership, hiring, any of that, and we do the deeper coaching on that. So outside of that, folks, wherever you're at on your journey, I pray that you get to be a role model and an example for the people around you, because people are secretly looking up to you. They're inspired by you, by what you do, by what you show is possible. When they see you ascend to your next level, they're like, damn, I didn't even like it. Just inspires people, because you guys know when someone around you does it, you get to go be that causal agent for someone else. You remind them of what's available, what's possible. And if you love this and okay, I want more, and if you want to go more advanced and work intimately close with me directly, yes, I'm involved in the coaching program. In it, you can actually Apu's our recent newest member here. Apu's literally first message is like, Anas, I can't believe how, maybe you can say, I can't believe how involved and intimate and deep you are in, like all of us are in it, because we care about our clients. Satho is our like motto, serve at the highest level. We care so deeply about our clients, the results, them winning, growing, ascending into their fullest potential. So anyways, outside of all of that, I love you all. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. God loves you. God bless you. I hope that you can be a freaking role model and an example and show up to the tribe calls, see it in your calendar. If you have suggestions, ideas, I'm always open. DM me or post it in the school. I actively check school. No, it's not a setter. It's me. I actively check it. We respond. I care about every single one of you. And I pray we continue to ascend together, that we get to keep growing. And with that, folks, be freaking first of the month. Let's give it up for you. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited to see what you accomplish, what you do, to share your wins. Share your wins. And if you don't know, share your wins in the tribe. We'll celebrate you. I'll be in there. All of that. So God bless you, folks. And remember, every single day, you get the choice. You get to be average. You get to drift, which is not you, or you get to fight to summon the best of who you are so you can ascend into who you're meant to be. God bless y'all. We'll catch you on the next one. Chew and share with a friend and invite them to the tribe. Get some more goodness into our world. We'll see you guys soon. Let's give it up. I'll let you unmute. Clap you out as we're leaving. Ciao. Okay. Appreciate you guys. God bless you. Bye, James. Bye, Eraldi. Fake Eraldi number 2. We still don't know who the other Eraldi is. I want to know before you go. My gift. Gift that to me. This other Eraldi. Man, if they go on camera, I'm going to love you. Wait. Oh, come on. Are we all rooting for other Eraldi? Don't you all want to know who it is? Eraldi. They're still there. I'm going to DM them, just so you know. I'm talking about you. I DM'd them already. Shall they show them? Do you guys think they're going to see him? Okay, let's make it super awkward as we wrap. This is so good. Wait, am I spotlighted for you all? No, I can't spotlight. Come on. No, Eraldi. Okay, they're not coming. 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on. No. Oh, who was it? Who was it? We'll never know. All right. God bless you guys. Let's crush it. Chew.